It's the room counting down the days with a One Direction calendar.
Oh. Did you make that yourself?
No, I got given it by Autism Bedfordshire. I made a 1D sign out of pom-poms, homemade pom-poms. Well, not homemade, unit-made pom-poms. Here's the big pride flag. Lots of pictures of the outings and me holding bunny rabbits with an EEG on my head. That's why I look like a nun.
It's quite awkward when there's a film crew suddenly in your classroom.
I'm going to be really weird. I'm going to use the bin actually because we don't need that in shop.
So yeah, we are quite keen to just capture.
Just looking at that thing above my head.
He's holding it onto it tight. I think you're going to be
It's not going to fall, don't worry.
So what do you wish other people understood about having a complex epilepsy?
It's not fun. It's scary and stressful, and sometimes it just feels like you're waiting for a seizure to come along because you never know when. I just wish they knew, like they understood the fear of not being in control of that.
Do you think you spend a lot of time waiting?
Yes, I spend all of my time waiting.
Do you spend more time waiting for them than having them?
Yes.
How often do you have a seizure?
That depends. My cycle can always change. So right now it's been every 2 weeks or so. But sometimes it's been every month, sometimes it's been a couple of times a week, sometimes it's been one day and then the next day I have a seizure as well. So you just never really know.
And how does it feel to have epilepsy, something and a more kind of complicated kind than others might have?
Unfair. It feels like, why me?
You're a talented musician, aren't you? And actually, compared to me, you are. She's heard me play. But you've kind of pointed out to me kind of how your seizure activity has kind of impacted on that a bit and performance.
Yeah. I've got superstitions around sometimes that when I feel like when I play my music, sometimes it can trigger seizures. And it's just a superstition, obviously, because playing music doesn't cause epilepsy. But having epilepsy has created a lot of superstitions like that for me.
Because there's so much anxiety about potentially having a seizure.
Like doing certain things and playing certain things at a certain time, at a certain... or with a certain person even, that can create, superstitions for it. So I've even had to distance myself from certain, people because I've created a superstition around them, which I wish I didn't, but at the same time, I'm not willing to risk it.
So you know when you're creating the superstition?
Yeah, I know when it's a superstition, but at the same time, if it's still going to happen, then it's still happening. So I'm not going to risk that.
And what do you kind of hope for the future? Do you think about the future a lot?
Yeah. I have no idea what the future's going to bring, because at this point, I was supposed to have taken my GCSEs this year. I didn't. And if I did, I probably would have failed because I missed so many years. And if I want any kind of job, I need to take my GCSEs at least. But then there are some days where I just kind of want to end it all. And then I want no future whatsoever. And then I don't even care. And I'm like, why am I even in school? It's pointless. It's not going to do me any good. And yeah.
So it makes you feel a little bit hopeless?
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand that.
Before Sayujya came here, she hadn't left the house for ages apart from going to hospital, had you?
No.
And then her first trip out was to go to Costa Coffee, wasn't
Oh, amazing.
With your daughter?
With my daughter.
Lovely.
Yes, she's a carer here. So it was brilliant. And you've done that. You've watched Gary in the orchestra, haven't you? You've been out shopping? You've been...
I went out to, Sainsbury's.
Well, that's shopping. That is shopping. And these are things you've never been able to do for a long time, have you? Because your seizures have affected you.
And I went to McDonald's.
That's a big deal. What did you get?
My goodness.
Chicken selects and chips.
Good choice.